Really? Is that the best you can do? I mean, if I'm going to invite you to my house for steak and beer, and this is Heineken's, people, okay? I don't serve Bud Light because I'm a grown-up. And we're going to sit on my 300 square foot deck that I built, 30 by 10, treated, for a meal, and you bring pasta salad? You're a lazy, ungrateful son of a bitch. It's boiled noodles, okay? And it costs you 79 cents to make it, so you're cheap, too. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Tony, you have not tasted my wife's pasta salad. She puts black olives in there, and feta cheese chunks, and makes her own dressing. It's boiled noodles. There's always a boatload of it left over, because the only people eating it are the spouses of the people who brought it. They're obligated. Oh yeah, where I live, if you don't at least sample what your wife brought to the cookout on Memorial Day, you will not have sex until Labor Day. It's the law. And even those guys aren't eating that much of it. You know, they put on a good show. Oh, honey, love it. Love what you did with the pimentos. And when nobody's looking, they do this. Onto my lawn, hoping my mangy dog will eat it. He won't. My dog will not eat pasta salad. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is an animal that has no problem eating a day-old dead frog out of the gravel and then sniffing another dog's ass. If my dog won't eat pasta salad, that's all you need to know about pasta salad. Am I being clear? Okay. There's no room for ambiguity in comedy. I'll tell you where I'm going and take you with me. I turned 53 last week. Don't clap, it sucks. All right? 53, that is the worst possible age anybody can be. 53. I'm not young anymore. I'm not close to retiring. I'm busting my ass. My kids are older. They don't appreciate me. I'm not getting sex as often as I used to. You know, 53. If you went into a nursing home and went up to a 93-year-old man and said, "Hey, old timer, would you like 40 years of your life back?" You'd be 53. He'd say, "Nah." You know, my friends try to make me feel better. They say, "You know, Tony, 50's the new 40. Have you heard this? 50's the new 40. That's a really stupid thing to say. It implies that 40 was like a party. Anybody here remember turning 40? Yeah. Gray hair, wrinkles, low sperm count. Saying 50's the new 40 is kind of like saying chlamydia is the new syphilis. You wouldn't want either one, right? Okay. My kids pick on me because I'm older. I'm combing my hair in the bathroom mirror in the morning. My 15-year-old walks in and says, "What do you care what you look like, Dad?" You already lived your life. My 21-year-old, "Hey, Dad, what was your favorite TV show when you were growing up? Walking Upright with the Stars?" My 24-year-old, "Hey, Dad, Grandpa says the only reason you were born is because his condom was made of bark." I'm realizing that men's bodies change as they age, but not in ways you might expect. For example, it's a myth that all men over 50 tend to lose their hair. I don't have that problem. It's not true. I have hair growing out of places on my body that I think are illegal in Utah. And it's asymmetrical. It's like I got a patch coming out here, a tuft coming out here. When I jog on the beach, I look like Sasquatch fleeing Chernobyl. Okay? Got the shoulder thing going now too. I can clean your pool by doing the breaststroke. But the strangest place I have hair coming out of is the tops of my ears. Anyone? Tops of my ears? Not the ear canal where your fallopian tubes are. I mean right out the top. And it's unsightly. It needs to be trimmed back occasionally, so my wife is in charge of the bi-weekly weed whacking. So, I've been married to a hairdresser for a long time, and she was clipping away up there recently, and she said to me, "You know, one of the services I offer is facial waxing. I can wax your ears. So I went, okay. Now guys, I don't know if you know what women go through when they have body parts waxed, but the beautician starts with a small cauldron, like with the witches in Macbeth. And they put wax in there, and it's heated to roughly the temperature of the lava that came out of Mount Vesuvius. The scalding wax is then placed on the affected area, in this case the tops of my ears, which apparently have a ton of nerve endings. This gets better. The beautician then takes a strip of cloth, places it on the wax where it adheres, then she pulls violently on the strip, ripping the hair out by the roots. Now, I don't know what it is about having pubic hair coming out of your ears, but those roots run deep. So deep that when my wife pulled on that strip of cloth, I felt the pain go down my back and my ass was just like this. My wife looks at the cloth strip and says, "Oh, God." Now, we've been married for 26 years. My wife doesn't say, "Oh, God," that much anymore when we're alone. So I know one of two things must have happened. Either A, my wife somehow achieved orgasm while waxing my ears, or B, something had gone horribly wrong. She showed me the strip of cloth, and there was so much ear hair on here, it looked like a mouse caught in a glue trap after a successful safari. So my ear's hurting, my eyes are watering, so I reach through the other ear, but I look in the mirror of the beauty shop over my left shoulder, and I see that my wife and I are not alone. For standing in the corner of a shop behind a tall plant is my 15-year-old son, operating a high-resolution video camera. And he's thinking, this is so going to be on YouTube. So I was born in '59, so that makes me a baby boomer. You young folks who don't read, that's somebody born between 46 and 64, the most hated generation in the history of the world. The elderly hate us, Gen X, Gen Y hates us. They hate us for one reason, because we're a bunch of selfish bastards. We take, we don't give, we haven't contributed anything to society. Like my father's generation. I asked my dad, what did your generation ever do? He said, well, son, we worked our way out of the Depression, defeated Hitler, and built the interstate highway system. You? I couldn't think of three things. I came up with two, baby boomers. Baby joggers and Viagra. That's it. That's our legacy. Baby joggers. It's convenient for the baby boomer. It's terrible for the kid. You know, the rise in ADD and autism over the past 30 years directly correlates with the use of the baby joggers. Do you understand why? Railroad tracks, Daddy. Railroad tracks. Viagra, that's our other one. If you think of all the problems facing this country, debt, unemployment, global warming, do you think erectile dysfunction makes anybody's top 3 list? It does for the boomers. We're going to spend $4 billion on a pill fixing flaccid penises on old guys. That's not a problem that needs to be solved. Okay, we don't need 20 million 60-year-olds with boners. Why? Because there aren't 20 million 58-year-old women hoping to be humped by guys who have been playing with themselves since Kennedy was shot in Dealey Plaza. Not a problem that needs to be solved. And we've customized the Viagra too. Boomers, because it's all about us. You can get Viagra, Levitra, and Cialis. Viagra, Levitra, Cialis, also known as the original members of Destiny's Child. And Cialis, that's the big one though. That's the big seller. It's a 36-hour long-acting Viagra, or as they say in Leicester, the weekender. Because you can take it on Friday after work, and you're good until church Sunday morning. The thing about being old is watching your parents age because you know you're next. You know, we're kind of thinking about a place for my dad and looking at homes, and he hates being a burden even though he is. So he said to me recently, he said, no, I know, son, that I'm a crotchety old man, but hell, I'll be dead in a few years and you can piss on my grave. I said, Dad, I would never do that. You know how I hate to stand in line. But we're all heading there, you know, in 53, 30, 40 years, I'll be heading to a home too, and I'm thinking, what, you know, my son pushing me ahead of him into the home. And I'm thinking, what's that conversation going to be like? You know, what will I say? Probably something like this. Railroad tracks on railroad tracks. That's my time. I'm Tony Bass. Thank you. It's also my pleasure to introduce our next performer, who's also hosting the show. My friend Nathan Hartswood put together the whole Green Mountain Comedy Festival, 20 shows, 100 performers, came back again this year. He also was a semifinalist in the Funniest Comic in New England contest. Very funny young fella. Please welcome back to the stage, Mr. Nathan Hartswood.